What's up, people? It's your girl Adiola. Way too many drama happening in Nigeria. My people, let's start with the drama at the presidential villa. At Aso Rock. It was like a Nollywood movie. You know, I don't understand how a whole first lady, a whole Nigerian first lady, has to always run to Twitter for help when her husband is the president. Did you see that tweet? She was asking the IG of police to release his staff on Twitter. I was like, wait, what? The story is that an aide of the president traveled to Lagos, and then when he came back, he refused to quarantine himself. Do you know that one of the air hostesses on his flight has now tested positive? So of course, Aisha, the first lady, had an argument with this man, insisting that he must be quarantined. But according to Vanguard newspaper, an informant at the villa said that the president sided with his aide, saying that he didn't need to quarantine himself. But I was like, how? How do you prefer the opinion of others over that of your wife? The devil is a liar. Why did he even marry her? It looks to me like the first lady was trying to protect her husband and everyone at Aso Rock. No, so just in case, just in case. Also, I don't understand why the first lady must argue with the president's aide before he would do the right thing, to the point where the first lady and her security detail allegedly went to this man's quarters and they tried to force him to go for isolation, to the point where Aisha's security men had to shoot while they were pursuing this man. I said, shooting at Aso Rock. The president's aide allegedly escaped to the residence of Maman Daura. That is where he spent the night. Keep in mind that Maman Daura is cabal number 2. In Nigeria, we have 2 cabal. The late Abakari was cabal number 1. You cannot make this up, okay? Where was the president when all of this was happening? So Maman Daura allegedly ordered the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, to arrest her security detail. First of all, my people, it looks to me like Buhari is just there. He's obviously not the one in charge in Aso Rock or in charge of the police or anything. Like, seriously. Also, I honestly think that the president and the first lady need counseling. They do, like, for you. They need counseling. I mean, don't they know how to communicate between themselves? Like, seriously, do they not communicate in the bedroom or the other room or whatever you want to call it? Are they just doing it without talking? Like, how do you even do it without talking to each other? Why is he the president if the first lady has to always run to Twitter for justice? At the same time, Madam First Lady, in case you're watching, you not too well. Of course, I'm here to defend you, but we don't always hear from you, Madam, about so many things like killings and so many other issues happening in Nigeria. I mean, we hear from you once in a while. Like, I love your campaign video about child rape. In fact, I reposted it. But can you also make it more regular to shed light on so many atrocities going on in the country, not just when you are being disrespected by the cabal, like, for you? Meanwhile, some Nigerians are upset that Aisha was trying to prevent her husband from contracting the virus. Some people are very wicked. They were calculating. They were like, Aisha, let him get close. Let the man get close to Buhari. I said, hey, Nigerians. Meanwhile, I want to thank the government for finally paying or approving the funds to pay our doctors. But why do you need to wait for them to go on a strike in the middle of a pandemic before you would pay them? Like, who does that? I don't understand. These doctors went on strike for a number of reasons. First of all, inadequate protective gear. Do you guys know that 10 Nigerian doctors have died of COVID-19 because they were treating patients without having adequate gear? And you know, this is what I don't understand. What happened to all the money that they've been giving Nigeria from around the world? What happened to the $7 billion, the loan that we took from IMF in the name of fighting coronavirus, if our doctors still don't have basic protective gear? What are we doing with this money? The second thing that these doctors were protesting is the firing of 26 resident doctors at the Jos University Teaching Hospital last month. These resident doctors just received sack letters for no reason. They just fired them. Who fires doctors at a time like this? The third reason that they were on strike was the poor salary and allowances, and of course lack of life insurance. And so this 4.5 billion naira, that's about $11 million, is to pay all the doctors their salaries, including their arrears. But besides that, they also need to provide them with protective gear and stop firing doctors. And can I just say, it's ridiculous that for so long this government was threatening to fire these doctors because they went on strike. They were threatening to fire them instead of paying them. I was like, Father Lord Almighty. They said, oh, they didn't have 4 billion naira to pay the doctors. But can you believe that at the same time, the same government approved 13 billion naira for pest control in 12 northern states? 12 northern states, 13 billion naira. That's like $33 million. Somebody that didn't have 4 billion to pay doctors to save lives had 13 billion for pest control in northern states. So to add salt upon injury, they said that the pest control is needed in order to reduce the effect of COVID-19 on the nation's food sector. In case you are watching, this is just an honest question, it's not an abuse. I'm not abusing you along, but I'm just wondering if everything is okay, upstairs. Because we, the people, we are not stupid. Why is it that from the federal level to the state level, Nigerian officials don't take healthcare seriously? Look at the former governor of your state. That is my father, Ajimobi. We are all praying for you to get well. So in case you're watching, we've been on the mountain since. Don't worry, receive your healing. You're already healed. The man tested positive for COVID-19. I was surprised that they had to take him to Lagos for treatment. How can somebody be a governor for 8 years and not equip the hospitals in his state? Forget about building new ones. They are not interested. But at least the ones that you have. What stopped him from making it a priority to equip those hospitals so that he could be treated there? The one that baffles me the most right now is finding out that Nigeria has conducted only a little over 100,000 COVID-19 tests. 120,000 since February. This is June. A country of more than 200 million people. I'm asking these questions because people donated money for you to do these tests. They did from all over the world, even in Nigeria. Something is fundamentally wrong. If our doctors are not well paid, if they are not well equipped, and we still don't have enough gadgets to conduct rapid testing, despite all the loans and donations in the name of COVID-19. Baba, you guys know that mass testing would enable people to isolate themselves if they should test positive, and they can attack the virus early. It will save lives. Please start giving us a detailed account of what you're doing with all the money that you've received. We need to know. Otherwise, you have to be a very wicked somebody, like very, very wicked, like hellfire wicked, for you to embezzle money meant to provide COVID-19 gadgets. No, you have to be wicked. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, this coming December, Ghanaians are heading to the polls for their presidential election, and as expected, there are so many candidates, but I think that it's interesting that the two most popular candidates are the previous president and the present president. Father, John Mahama and Nana Akufo-Addo. And do you know that they both have a lot of supporters? There are people who love the former president, and of course there are people who love the present president for things like the high school free education and the roads he has constructed. At the same time, some people have accused him of positioning at least 50 of his family members and friends in government. Some people are even saying it's up to 65 family members and friends. Now this became an issue because he used to criticize the former president for having one family member in government. Now he has 50 to 65. Okay, I'm not from Ghana, but that's just wrong. That's nepotism. Although there's a lot of Ghanaians that don't have any issues with this. They say some of his family members are already in politics before he became president. So in any case, this coming election is going to be very interesting. But the main issue right now is the Electoral Commission in Ghana wants a completely new voters registration. So they're asking more than 17 million voters to register all over during this time of coronavirus. How can they maintain social distancing if that many people are trying to register? I don't understand. And one thing that I still don't get is the fact that the Electoral Commission is saying that it's cheaper for them to register everybody all over, 17 million people, than for them to register just the first-time voters, about 1.5 million people.
It's only about 1 million or so you need to add to the register. How can that be more expensive than registering 17 million people? And you say you are saving as money when Nigeria bought the same equipment for $1,770.
So if any Ghanaian can please explain how it would be cheaper to register more people, please let us know in our comment section, because I'm not getting it. Plus, the election is in 6 months, December, right? So if the people are just registering all over, how would everything fall in place by election time? And the fact that the new Electoral Commission boss was appointed by the president is already making some people feel like, maybe they are trying to influence the coming election. I don't know. But it's raising a lot of eyebrows. Ghanaians, let's hear from you guys. And please, you do not have to abuse each other because of politics, you know, and you don't have to abuse those of us that are not from Ghana. I just want to hear from you guys. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya, you know, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. This video is actually from April, so it didn't just happen. But I was really impressed when I saw the video of the cabbage man of Kibera. This man, when coronavirus started, he couldn't afford mask for himself and his family. So guess what he did? He used cabbage as mask.
I'm the cabbage man. I don't fear. Whoever doesn't have a mask, I'm urging him to try this one. Because it's better and it's not costly. You can just get it for free and it is protective.
Wow, you know, and of course, as expected, people made fun of him, just like some of you are right now. Don't you think I can't see you through the plasma TV? Like, how cool is, you know, you're laughing too much. It's okay, you guys don't need to laugh at this man. God knows your address, by the way, every one of you that's laughing, God knows your address. They didn't even hide it, making fun of this man. He knew that they were making fun of him, but he didn't care. He had his own reasons.
I want the government to provide us people of these places, especially slums, with masks.
Exactly. So,
and sanitizers. Nobody is thinking about us. Even if they are in their mansions, they know that we are the one who elected them.
Wow. Okay, huge respect, huge love to this man. I love how he didn't give a damn. He knows what he's doing.
One leaf of cabbage like this one, it can take me for 14 days. Yes.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I wash it. I also sanitize it. Just like this way.
His health and that of his family is very important. So he didn't mind naysayers. You can tell the man is educated. Even the way he spoke, he knew what he was doing. And I am so proud of her daughter for doing what's right, regardless of people making fun of her daddy and herself.
So when I first saw my dad with this, I thought it's creativity. He didn't have any cash, so he just made his own. So I just want to talk to the youths. I want them to know that we don't have to wait for the government to help us. We can use whatever we have at home. Of course, people have to say something, but we are just preventing ourselves.
Girl, I am so proud of people like this. Wow.
The urgent need for the ghetto people is masks because we are overcrowded.
A huge shout out to the reporter that went. The whole crew, they donated masks for this man and his family, as well as some other people in the community. But you know, the reason I talked about his story is because I love his guts. You know, he did what he knew was right until someone gave him real mask. I wonder what some of you would be doing today if you didn't care so much about what people would think. I realize sometimes that people don't step out of their comfort zone. They don't step out of their boats because of what would people say. Maybe someone out there watching me today, maybe you're supposed to start your own YouTube channel about something that you strongly believe in. Or maybe you've started and it's not growing, you wanted to quit, but you know you need to keep going. And some of you are wondering what would people say. Maybe you are supposed to apply for your master's or PhD, but you're thinking about, oh, people may say all you do is study and study, when will you get married? Maybe you are supposed to launch your business, I don't know. Or you need to start saving money, which means that you may have to say no to some people that are always asking you for money, but you don't want to offend them. So you don't have any savings and you know you're supposed to start saving. Maybe you're dating someone right now and you know you're not supposed to marry the person, but people are telling you you're over 30, you're getting old, you better settle down. But you know you don't actually love this person. Why would you do it? Please know that all those people would not live with you once you get married to that person. I'm not trying to break up people. I'm just saying, do what you know is right in your heart. Don't be pressured into anything by the society. If a grown man can endure people laughing at him, the entire Kibera slum knew about him. Everybody was making fun of him. Some of them were pulling the cabbage on his face. Until reporters did a report about him. He was very popular, but he didn't care. If a grown man could do that, that's the attitude that some of you need to do what you're meant to do. It's never easy, but you must do it anyway, even if you need to do it afraid. And yes, people will make fun of you. Yes, people will abuse you. I'm not here to deceive you. I'm just being real with you. But you will always wonder what life could have been like if you did what you know you're supposed to do. Amen, somebody. You guys not doing much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Sierra Leone. My God. So first of all, while every country in the world is dealing with COVID-19 and people are declaring a few months of state of emergency or a few weeks, Sierra Leone declared 1 year state of emergency. 1 year, 12 months, I was really confused. Maybe Sierra Leoneans can explain what this means to us. But, put that aside. Once again, they arrested Sylvia Olayinka Blyden, a popular journalist. She's also a medical doctor. She's a publisher, but she's also a politician. In fact, she's the former Minister of Social Welfare, Gender and Children Affairs in Sierra Leone. She's an opposition member, and some people even call her the mother of democracy in Sierra Leone. Anyway, this woman is very popular, is what I'm trying to say. So, she was arrested again. They charged her with what they call cyber-related offenses because the government didn't like what her fans, not even her, but what her fans posted on her Facebook page. I'm like, okay, so first of all, why do African leaders, like government officials in Africa, why do they monitor people's social media pages? This woman has been in and out of prison, but the interesting thing now is Sierra Leone has what they call the criminal libel law since 1965, which states that a person who publishes defamatory material is guilty of libel and on conviction is punishable by a fine or imprisonment. This law was introduced by Sir Albert Magai in 1965, the second prime minister of Sierra Leone, in order to silence his critics. However, this law, they've been using it since 1965 mainly to silence journalists and opposition members. But the new president, Madabao, my father, how you doing? The man promised to repeal this law once he gets in office. In fact, last year, there's a bill to repeal this law. They introduced that bill, everybody got excited. But guess what? This bill, the bill to repeal the law that they are using to punish journalists, has now been suddenly withdrawn by the House of Parliament, which means that journalists and opposition members can still be arrested and be punished. So they said they didn't throw it out of the window, that they only withdrew it temporarily. So let's hope that it's truly, a temporary thing. But then we're waiting for the president to do something, being that his party controls the parliament. In the meantime, honestly, it doesn't look good on a president that promised freedom of speech. It doesn't look good that he keeps arresting and releasing this woman. And speaking of the president, Mr. President, in case you're watching me, sorry, but you know that I'm the only one that will tell you the truth. Please move closer, Mr. President. Whose idea was it? While every country was fighting coronavirus, buying PPEs for doctors, opening isolation centers, providing food for people, giving out stimulus packages, whose idea was it, my oga, that your government should buy 30, not 1, not 10, but 30 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser, model V8, in the name of fighting coronavirus? Hey! Whose idea was this? Hey, they said that the new vehicles are for the COVID-19 response team. Ooh, really? They gave them to the resident ministers, and then they appointed the same ministers as regional coordinators of the COVID-19 response team. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me bring myself back. Ministers already have official cars. No, so is this what the country needs right now? Do they have enough ambulances? Are the doctors well paid in Sierra Leone? Do they have protective gear for the doctors? The money spent on these cars could... You know what? Let me just hear from Sierra Leoneans. Sierra Leoneans, let's hear from you as the government fights COVID-19 with 30 brand new Toyota Land Cruisers, model V8, You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. As I promised, I wanted to tell you guys what Kawa Foundation, that is the Keeping It Real with Adiola Foundation, did in Kogi as well as Osun State. So we contacted Ekwa Hospital in Egbe in Kogi State. You can visit their website. They're well organized. They are doing amazing work in Egbe. It's a mission hospital with 75-bed multi-service complex. They're serving about 500,000 people, and they depend on donations. So we did a similar thing to what we did at the teaching hospital in Leone, Kwara State. We gave them 10 coveralls. That is 10,000 naira each. So that is 100,000 naira. We gave them 20 pieces of the N95 mask, which is 5,000 naira each. So that is 100,000 naira. And then we got them 10 packets of surgical mask. Each packet is 12,000 naira. So that's 120,000 naira. And then 20 pieces of face shields. Each one is 4,000 naira. So that is 80,000 naira. Altogether, we spent 400,000 naira in Egbe Hospital. If anyone wants to get in touch with them for more donations, donations, please visit their website. So a Nigerian couple in Texas sent me an email that they would like to donate frozen chicken to Kawa Foundation for us to distribute. I was like, wait, what? Like, frozen chicken? Father, ladies and gentlemen, please meet Mr. and Mrs. Dolapo Ogusalu, the owners of Safety First PPE. That's a company in Plano, Texas that supplies hospital gadgets for doctors and nurses with customers in different parts of the world. This couple wanted to give back. So they bought 1 ton of frozen chicken. That's about 2,000 pounds of frozen chicken. Amen, somebody. It came in 200 sacks. Each sack had 2 bags of chicken in it, and each individual bag of chicken weighed 5 kilograms. Okay, that's like 11 pounds of chicken per bag. I was like, wow, Father, Christmas is here. So the chicken company is based in Lagos, and so we had to find a place not far from Lagos to distribute the frozen chicken because it's perishable food. And since we haven't done anything in Osun State and it's not too far from Lagos, we thought that we would take the chicken to Osun State. Luckily for us, a Gari company I once advertised for, that is Tunde Laniron Farms, they have the best Gari in the world, by the way, and this is not because I've advertised for them. It's because I actually bought some for family members in Nigeria who testified that it's the best. Okay, so this company donated 100 bags of Gari, 1 kilogram each. We bought an extra 100 bags of Gari, making it 200 bags of Gari. The Gari company is based in Ibadan. So then we found an amazing man to work with us in Osun State, Pastor Shola Ajagbe. God bless you, sir. Yes, sir. Benny. This man helped us to take the Gari and the chicken to Osun State, where they distributed it at 7 different communities. The reason that they were able to distribute the chicken and Gari at 7 different communities was because when they got to the first community, the people themselves asked to share each bag of chicken because each bag is huge, 11 pounds. They said it's better that they all share than for some of them to get chicken while others don't get chicken. So they believe that we'll be doing more harm than good if we give 1 chicken to individual families and then some of them didn't get chicken. Also, some of those villages don't have electricity, so storing the chicken could be an issue if there's no light. So they asked to share the chicken, and because of that, we were able to reach more communities. Huge disclaimer, by the way, because you may see crowds gathering in some of the videos. Our volunteers tried to maintain social distancing. They went to, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying these names correctly, but Pastor Ajagbe is a missionary based at the Redeemed College of Mission, so he led them to places that are easily forgotten, places that are not close to the main road. So they went to Ologo Bioja and they gave out 114 kilograms of chicken to 91 families as well as Gari. Each family got at least 1 kilogram of chicken, which is not small, by the way. Here's a video of some of the women sharing the chicken. I'm not sure which village this is, but as soon as they got their chicken, they decided to share it right there, and so the cameraman was filming as they were doing it, so it wasn't small. The woman in the video was saying, thank you, this is really nice. Wow, you know, she was just thanking them. They also went to Araro Milogun and they gave out chicken and Gari to 180 families. They went to Egbeda Logun where they gave out chicken and Gari to 111 families. Also in Ededimeji, that is one of the biggest places they went to. They gave out 200 kilograms of chicken to 200 families and Gari as well. And they went to Akoda and gave out 115 kilograms of chicken to 92 families. And then they went to the Redeemed College of Mission where they have about 90 students stranded on campus throughout this lockdown. They were apparently from really far places in Nigeria, and some of them actually came from neighboring countries in Africa. So they were stranded, they couldn't travel during the lockdown. So the school wasn't in session, but they had to feed the students. So when we heard about that, they gave the students and the staff living on campus about 118 missionaries. They gave them chicken and Gari. And when I saw how excited and how happy these students were to see Pastor Ajagbe, he's their deputy provost. If you see the way they literally carried him. Okay, so first of all, they hadn't seen him since the lockdown, but he also came and then he brought them food, you know, so they were so happy, so excited. That just warmed my heart. Okay, so when I saw the video, I was so worried. I was so worried for Pastor Ajagbe. I said, Esa, social distancing. But we did this in May during Ramadan, so everybody is fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody got sick. But please know that we always tell our volunteers to observe social distancing. We try our best because we care about their health. So we take it very seriously. But sometimes they get mobbed. You know what I mean? I mean, what were they supposed to do when they were, I don't know if you could run. Next time you just, as the students were coming, you were supposed to run. So by the time that they got to At Aso village, there was only about 6 kilograms of chicken left for 6 families. In fact, Gary was the first thing to finish. The Gary don't finish saute. I'm telling you, that Gary is really good. A friend of mine gets sick whenever she eats Gary, but when she ate this one, she didn't get sick, so she hid it from her kids. I call her Agbaya, hiding Gary inside the bedroom. So yes, they gave all the volunteers chicken as well and Gary. So altogether, at least 820 families, including our volunteers, got at least 1 kilogram of chicken. 820 guys. Thank you so much to the donors for putting a smile on the faces of 820 families. So they told me a story that after they left one of the villages, I don't remember the name now, but they said that some of the villagers came in just as they were leaving and they found out they were distributing chicken. That was how they started running after them on Okada. And they chased after them for so many kilometers until they had to stop and give some Gary. They said they couldn't open the chicken right there because people would mob them again. Can you imagine? Like, for real, people are hungry. Before I thank the donors proper, first of all, I want to thank Pastor Ajagbe, like seriously, and everybody that went with him to Osun State, including Sister Dorcas, Sister Bosse, Mrs. Odoayo, and Dr. Seson's driver, that is Mr. Friday or Mr. Fryo, he likes that, Jibola Oladiran. But I also want to specially thank Dr. Seson Oluwasola at UCH. Thank you, sir. Esther, you are the best. Because all this food and hospital distribution that we've been doing at Kawa Foundation, this man does all the main work. He contacts all the hospitals to know what they need. This man is so committed that the day that they delivered the chicken, he slept at his office so that he could be there to receive it at 6 a.m. I didn't even know about this until the following day that he slept at the office because I wouldn't have allowed him. I was like, how could you sleep in the office? None of our board members get salaries, by the way. We don't get salaries. They are just doing this as service for humanity. And I just want to thank him specially. Thank you so much. He even released his personal car and his driver to carry some of the chicken and Gary to Osun State because Pastor Ajagbe's car could not take everything. It was a lot. And of course, my favorite YouTuber, Miss Lade King Owolabi. This woman has been with us for years, and thank you so much, Mommy. Taking care of logistics and so many things. I honestly cannot thank you and your husband enough. The whole Kawa bag thing, they are behind it, okay? But you know the most important thing, please and please patronize Safety First PPE in Texas. They deliver anywhere in the world though. I mean, this is a couple that I have never met. They only watch the show and they decided to put a smile on the faces of 820 families and missionaries. You know, when I called to thank them, the husband told me that it's his wife who insisted that they should give this to Kawa Foundation, that we would be transparent about it. I was like, oh my God, I wanted to cry. We had no idea that people pay attention to this thing. So we just know that it's the right thing to do. So please, if you know any hospital that wants to purchase protective gear, or schools or churches or mosque or government body, please check out their websites. They have gloves, they have hand sanitizers, masks, they have coveralls and protective gear even for kids. And there's no amount that you want that they don't have. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Zolapo. I'm really grateful to you guys. And of course, do not forget to visit tundelaniranfarms.com to order your own Gari. They deliver all over Nigeria and they have stores in Florida, and you can also order on Amazon. I'm like, oh shit. Once again, thanks to everyone that has volunteered for Kawa Foundation. We literally just contact people randomly and they always go all out for us. We are very grateful. You know that. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I sign out, I found out from YouTube that more than half of you that are watching have not subscribed. And I'm like, wait, what? You're watching, you're not, like, what's that about? When? So please subscribe if you're yet to. Also, huge shout out to all our Instagram supporters. This week we got to 200,000 Instagram supporters. I was like, oh shit, thanks so much. So find us on Instagram if you are not following us on Instagram. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Until next time, I'm gonna see you later. Peace out.